Thank you so much for joining Redington and Huawei session. We hope we will provide you all the information required, and you can go to the Q&A button on the left. You can post all your questions there, and we will answer them at the end of the session. We have Fuad and Rawad, the channel team in Hawaii, and also Muhammad Al-Asmar, the channel sales manager in Redington, and Arfan Abdullah, our pre-sales consultant in Redington. They will be running throughout this session. Please note that at the end of the session and after answering all your questions, Shanakia will be running a short quiz. There will be 3 winners. They will get a gift vouchers to their email ID in the upcoming days. Rawad, over to you.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me, Raghda?
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope you are all and your family in a good health. It's my pleasure to attend this session along with you. I hope to see you soon in your office after this situation end. So, as Raghda said, I will start with the channel policy of Huawei. I will cover in my presentation an overview about Huawei in general and our key food projects in Saudi Arabia. We'll talk about the Huawei partnership levels and requirement. We'll talk about the Huawei rebate program. We will also discuss about the individual incentive program from Huawei and the special incentive program also with Redington. And we will talk at the end about the Huawei certification program. So Huawei, we are a company with more than 200,000 employees across 170 plus countries around the world. Huawei, as all of you knows for sure, that we are number one carrier business in the world and in the region as well. We are listed at rank 61 in the global Fortune 500 in 2019 and 68 rank in the top 100 best global brands in 2019 as well. And for sure, most of you knows that Huawei we are working also in consumer business sector, and we are in the second rank across the world. So as we can see here, Huawei revenues at 2018 achieved $105 billion. In 2019, numbers just announced weeks ago, and we achieved a growth of 19% comparing to 2018, and we exceeded $123 billion, which is a very big number comparing to the others. In terms of R&D, Huawei for sure we have multiple R&D center across the world, not only in China. We have in China, in Europe, and even in North America. Our investment in R&D exceed 15 plus from our total revenues. We invest more than $15.8 billion in 2018. The number exceed $18 billion in 2019, and how we are planning to invest more than $20 billion in 2022. And that's why we have a very huge portfolio in all the sectors. And the growth and the innovation in our technology can be changed in a very fast way comparing to the other competitor. Here we can see the Huawei contribution with the top politics leader across the Middle East. We are working with most of the government, especially for mega projects and the critical projects with government. Also, after 17 years of dedication in the Saudi market, and as per the Vision 2030, now we are participating in Hajj guarantee projects for more than 14 years with zero issue. We are the first carrier vendor in the Saudi market, especially with STC, and we are working with others as well. We invested around $20 million in local innovation center and demo center. There is one center called CSIC located in Riyadh, Alaya Tawla floor 27. It's a complete floor with more than 1,000 meters square. This center is like a demo center where you can visit at any time. It's fully loaded with Huawei technologies at all, including all technologies. You can use it anytime, and also you can invite your customer as well so you can physically see what we have in our portfolio. And because of our business, our procurement exceed $500 million through 140 plus partner in the kingdom, and we have supported the market to create more than 20,000 plus jobs because of our business and contribution with other partners in the market. As well, we have three academies across the kingdom in Riyadh, Dammam, and Yumba, and we have multiple certification program. One of them is the ICT competition program. We certify 8,000 engineers has been certified till the end of 2018, and we are targeting to certify around 10,000 engineer by the end of 2020. So this is like a contribution from Huawei side to the Saudi market and society. Here, some key projects has been done by Huawei, the MOI 911 Command Center, the Royal Commission Smart City in Yamba, which is the first smart city in the Middle East, the IoT wireless detector with Aramco, the national broadband with SAC, which is called Dawiyat, and for sure most of you knows about this mega project. Also, we can see here that Huawei we got many awards from multiple parties. We got the award, the Gold Prize of prestigious King Khalid Responsible Competitiveness Award from the King Salman Hafidahullah. Many awards from Dawiyat, from RCY. And let me highlight one point regarding the NIC. We are approved and certified by the NIC in multiple technologies such like server, storage, switching, router, firewalls, and IPS as well. Here, this is the command center in Mecca. This is a real image, and as you know, command center it's a intelligent center where it's combining voice, video, and data capabilities to provide the authority the fastest way to respond to any issue or case, and decide what is the better solution in order to respond to this situation, to any situation. Also, the smart city of Yambo, this is the milestone of this project where we started in 2014, and we are now in the phase 3 in the intelligence phase of the smart city. Okay, so the overview has been completed. Now we will start with the second part of my presentation, which is the Huawei Partnership Program. So as we can see, the first level is the authorized level. Actually, there is one level called registered partner with Huawei. This is the level where you are legally registered with Huawei and you are allowed to get a price and discount from our side. Once you did any transaction with Huawei, you can apply to be upgraded to authorized partner. No requirement for this partnership level in terms of pre-sales and post-sales. You can rely completely on our distributor to do that job in behalf of you. So after the authorized partnership level, the key level of partnership with Huawei is the silver level, where starting from this position, you will be involved in our rebate program. So this is what I recommend for you, for all of you guys to work with us to achieve or to upgrade your company to silver level partnership, because it will involve your company in all of our rebate program. The target of silver partnership level, it's only $500,000 within a year, and one HCPA training for HCPA certificate for one of your engineer. Then we have the gold partner. The target will be around $2 million with two HCPA for pre-sales. Then you will be also involved in the CSP program, which is Certified Service Partner, where you will be allowed to sell Huawei Co-Care, the support from your side, where the rebate will be much higher than the high care and the discount level as well. And you can reach 5-star or related to your capabilities in terms of post-sales, resources, dedication, and certification. And we have also the VAP partnership level, where the requirement will be around $10 million with a 3 HCPA and as well for the requirement for the post sales. Just I need to highlight one point here. Uh, Now Huawei are committing in 2020 most of our business, actually 100% of our business will go through channel, nothing will go direct. So I need just to highlight this point. So as we said before, the silver partnership level is the key that you can enter in the Huawei rebate incentive program. So at silver partnership level, the base rebate will be 2%, and you will have also the capability to get 2% rebate. The total rebate will be around 4% for the silver partnership level. So 2% is fixed based on the total revenues, and the capability 2%. What we mean by capability? Let's go back to the previous slide. As you can see here, that the requirement for HCPA, which is the pre-sale certification, is only one certificate. If you let's say if you achieve two certificate, regardless if it's the same engineer or another engineer from your side, if you achieve additional one certificate, you will be eligible to get additional 1% from the capability rebate. If you achieve two, you will be able to get additional 2% rebate. So at the end, you are able to reach 4% in terms of total rebate. Gold partnership level, the base rebate will be 3%, not 2. The capability rebate will keep the same as 2%, and you will have extra 1% for marketing activities, which is called the joint marketing fund. It's a fund that can be reserved at the beginning of every year, will be can be applied from your side to utilize it and to fund any marketing activities you are gonna do to win any Huawei projects. Also, we need to highlight just one point regarding our rebate, that Huawei, we are as a company, we are trying to our best, and all of our policies is we are trying to provide you as much as we can in terms of incentive, and we are very flexible comparing to the others. And let me highlight one point, that our rebate is without threshold. If we can look to the left side, to the left chart, we can see that with other vendors, you need to achieve a certain target. After that, you will be eligible to get the rebate. While in Huawei, your rebate, let's say you are a silver partner and your target is $500,000. You will get the rebate from the first dollar you book it with us, regardless your achievement. So let's say by the end of the year, you achieve a 300K, not half million. You will still be able to get the rebate of the 300K dollar, and we will not deduct any real from our side. All you will get it, whatever you book, whatever you get. If you did not achieve the target for silver, let's say, this might affect your partnership level for the next year, but it will never deduct any real from your rebate program. Here we have also the business incentive program BIP, which is the last rebate program from Huawei to our partner in terms of company level. So what's the BIP? First of all, there is one condition which is mandatory in all of our incentive program. It's not related to the standard rebate. Standard rebate, you will get it based on the revenues, regardless it's partner led or Huawei led. But starting from this stage, we need to have DR. What we mean by DR is a deregistration. It should be partner led from your side and should be approved from Huawei. So if the DR is approved, you can apply for business incentive program based on many conditions. The first condition is to be at least silver partner with Huawei. Then the project should be more than $100K, and it should be with one of our strategic product, such like datacom storage and the cloud software, and also to prove that this project has been moved from other vendor to Huawei. If you get the BIP approved from our side, you will be eligible to get extra 10% rebate from our side. So can you imagine that if you are a gold partner, you will get a rebate for along with BIB along 16%, which is comparing to the other vendors. Actually, sometimes this is like a front margin. Even in terms of front margin, with some other vendor, you cannot achieve this number. With Huawei, you are achieving this like a rebate. Also here we start with the individual reward program for individual, as we are looking to satisfy our partner level. Now at company level, all happy, CFO, owner, everybody got his rebate. Now we need to look into your team. So Huawei, we have a program called SPIF, which is incentive voucher for sales in terms of voucher for around 1.2%, and for pre-sales 0.6%. The main condition for this program is to have also to be partner-led. They are approved from our side. Then at the end, if we close this project together, you will be eligible to get this reward. The good things with this program that you will not wait a complete year in order you get to get your incentive. Simply close in Q1, got your award in Q2. So let me talk about the latest slab, which is I think it's clear to you. For any order more than $250K, Huawei will provide the sales manager a reward of $5,000. For the pre-sales, around $2,500. Let's say from your team, one person is engaged in this program, and let's say there is no pre-sales from your side. You are completely relying on our distributor. Simply before distributing this award, we will send you an official email to confirm the people. You can mention the same guy in terms of sales manager and pre-sales. So what I mean that this guy will be able to get both awards, the 1.2% and the 0.6%. So even if there is no pre-sales engaged from your side, we are not trying to deduct any amount of voucher. All will be reserved to you. Also, I need to highlight one point regarding this program is that this is related to each DR. So sales manager can get this award 10 times a year, 5 times, as much as you can, as much as you close deal, as much as you getting incentive from our side. Also here we have the Huawei and Redington incremental incentive plan. Let me explain this in behalf of Redington team. So in addition to the previous incentive program from Huawei, any order more than $100K, they are approved from Huawei side, you will be eligible to get a reward of 1.25% from Redington side. So imagine that if you have an order of around $300K, you will get, the sales manager will get around $5,000 from Huawei side, and additional around $4,000 from Redington side. So we are talking around $10,000 as an incentive voucher for only 300K project DR. So here at the end, management happy. We are all happy. We get our incentive award. We need just to travel with you, along with you, and just to have fun. It's a program called Huawei Dreamline Trip. It's not a training trip. It's not a business trip. It's completely just to go and enjoy. So for every DR closed from your side, for every 300K, you will be eligible to get one seat. It will be, the expense will be fully covered from Huawei side, starting from the tickets and from the hotel booking, from the other activities. It will be completely covered by Huawei. We have done this trip to Thailand during February, and hopefully, inshallah, the situation will be better, and we will do it again in 2020. We come to the end. This is related to Huawei training and certification. As you know, for any training, especially for post-sales, for any training or certification, there is a fees or there is a cost. With Huawei, there is no cost, no fees. Huawei will provide the incentive voucher, will provide the fees voucher to your team to certify. So here there is zero cost on your company. So for HCIA, HCIP, and the highest certificate, which is called HCIE, will provide you the required voucher to just examine, and then the any of your engineer who will pass the highest certification level of Huawei, which is called HCIE, will be eligible. Actually, not eligible. He will, by default, get an award of 5,000 riyal as an incentive voucher from our side just to pass this certification. So I think we have done. If someone has any question, just can you write down your questions, or we can answer your question at the end. Over to you, Ragda. Thank you, guys. Hello. So Abdullah will start, right, Abdullah?
Hi Rawad, yes, thank you. Let me
Thank
share
you,
my
dear.
screen. So Rawad, please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen, Abdullah. Just
Okay.
maximize it.
Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the session. Hope everyone is safe and well. So I'm Abdullah Waheed, the pre-sales consultant for Huawei. So today we are going to discuss the key features and highlights of Huawei Wi-Fi 6, which is also called as Huawei Air Engine Wi-Fi 6. So, in order to start with Wi-Fi 6, we need to understand why we
Abdullah,
need
can
Wi-Fi
you
6.
can you maximize your screen?
Okay, okay.
Yes, it's good. Thank you.
So, regarding the Wi-Fi, as we all know that Wi-Fi has become a technology which is very necessary in our life nowadays, and it is replacing the wide network gradually. So the Wi-Fi system, which is also now providing the billion of connections for almost all the devices, all the handheld devices. So we need to understand regarding the Wi-Fi 6 that what are the benefits of Wi-Fi 6, why we need Wi-Fi 6, what problems and challenges we were facing before Wi-Fi 6. As we all know that the requirement of the users and the requirement of having Wi-Fi in the network is increasing. So as the challenges are also increasing. So the main challenges what we were facing in terms of Wi-Fi was the network transmission speed and low latency. So in order to cover these challenges, IEEE released the different standards with the time to time, and just to cover those challenges, just to meet the demands, just to increase the transmission speed, and to overcome these challenges. And we all know that there is a huge and rapid development of mobile services, the handheld devices, and because of the increasing requirement of these high density access, there is a requirement of higher network bandwidth from the Wi-Fi itself. So the previously 802.11ac was used in Wi-Fi 5 technology. In this standard, it was supporting wider radio frequency bandwidth, but what the frequency it was supporting was up to 160 megahertz, and the transmission speed it was supporting was up to around 1.7 or 1.8 gigabit in general. So after this 802.11ac, we came across with 802.11 AC Wave 2 standard. The addition was for beamforming technology and the multi-user MIMO technologies. These technologies were introduced in these Wave 2 standards. So what were the benefits of these technologies, these beamforming and multi-user MIMO technologies? It helps to improve the system access capacity. But the issue we were facing in 802.11 AC was the support of 5 gigahertz terminals. It was supporting only 5 gigahertz terminals. So this normally degrades the user experience on 2.4 gigahertz frequency band. So to overcome all these challenges and to meet the current situation and the demand of service applications such as video conferencing, then wireless interactive VR, mobile teaching, then the 4K HD conferences, and the most important is we need zero packet loss during AGV, automated guided vehicles roaming. So these were some of the challenges, and for all these kind of scenarios, we need more and more Wi-Fi access terminals to be deployed, so that more and more multiple users can be connected with higher efficiency and with the lossless roaming. But unfortunately, deploying more and more APs is not a good idea, because it can increase the channel interference, and also it can increase the disconnection of the users. And if we talk about this IoT development as well, this IoT development has also brought more mobile devices to the wireless network. So if we just consider the general example, if we just consider the home Wi-Fi network, if we compare it for the last 4 to 5 years back, we used to have very few devices in our home, right? But now they have also become crowded, because we have too many devices even in the home as well, like too many tablets, too many mobile phones and laptops. So the number of smart devices have increased. So considering all these needs and demand of this current era and the current situation, Wi-Fi network needs to be improved in terms of transmission speed, in terms of roaming, in terms of many other factors. So to meet these challenges and to cover the requirement, the Wi-Fi 6 is a solution basically. So Wi-Fi 6, can help us to solve the problem of low efficiency of the entire Wi-Fi network. What problems we are normally facing due to low efficiency? It can cause the delays. It can cause the disconnections. So we need to overcome these challenges and overcome these problems. We need to switch it to Wi-Fi 6. What we have in Wi-Fi 6, basically there are 2 to 3 technologies which are being used and which is being replaced in Wi-Fi 6. Those technologies are uplink multi-user MIMO. Then there is a technology which is being used in Wi-Fi, which was not being used in Wi-Fi 5, but it was being used in the carrier side. So OFDMA technology is being introduced in Wi-Fi 6. Then the higher order coding, that was 1024 QAM. So why we are using these technologies, specifically OFDMA and multi-user MIMO, these are helping to solve the network capacity. The first benefit is to solve the network capacity, and the second is to resolve the transmission efficiency problems. So the transmission efficiency can also get better in terms of the spectrum resources. If spectrum resources are utilized in a better way, and the multi-user access in terms of if more and more users can be connected at the same time with a single AP. So if we talk more about Wi-Fi 6, like what is the main agenda and what is the main goal of having the
Hello,
Wi-Fi 6?
hello, Abdullah.
Yes.
We are still seeing the first slide. Are you moving
Yeah,
forward?
yeah. No, I will move forward now. I was
Okay.
just
Okay. Okay.
giving the
Okay.
background and challenges
Okay.
we are facing for
Okay.
the Wi-Fi
Okay. We
6.
thought it's stuck. Okay.
No,
Thank
no.
you.
So the main goal of having Wi-Fi 6 in the network is to increase the user throughput by at least 4 times, and by increasing the number of concurrent users in the network by at least 3 times or 4 times. Like when we have too much densely populated user environment, which Wi-Fi 5 we cannot have such kind of environments. So therefore, we need to switch it to Wi-Fi 6. And this Wi-Fi 6 is also called as high efficiency wireless. So this was just a brief to let you people understand like why why we are moving from Wi-Fi 5 to Wi-Fi 6. What exactly is the main key points, and what exactly is the key benefits of moving it to Wi-Fi 6. So we need to understand what exactly we were having in our network in terms of Wi-Fi 5, and what exactly it is going to be in Wi-Fi 6. So again, if I let's consider an example like as you know that Huawei is a carrier leader. That Huawei started its operation from the carrier side, and Huawei is a leader in a carrier industry with the highest market share. So Huawei has also pushed the carrier technologies and their experience into the enterprise market, and they have introduced this Air Engine Wi-Fi 6. So in this Air Engine Wi-Fi 6, they have utilized these smart antennas, which is 5G powered antennas. So by having these antennas in the Wi-Fi 6, it can help to have the lossless roaming, and it can reduce the inter-IP interference, which can which can lower the network latency from 30 millisecond to 10 millisecond. So what benefits we are getting by achieving this much low latency? So by achieving this much lower latency, it will specifically help to eliminate any kind of instability we are facing in the network, or which are normally faced by the users, specifically for the users of HD conferences, and who are doing this virtual reality experience, and also for the automatic guided vehicles, because in these kind of scenarios we need something where we should have a zero packet loss. So in Wi-Fi 6 also we have smart radio lossless roaming. What exactly is this? Basically, it helps to achieve the stable and high quality experience for any kind of application or in any kind of environment. So by having this kind of technology, it can help us to achieve better and smooth operations in terms of specifically for AGB. And we also have this smart radio dynamic turbo, which also helps to deliver smooth experience of VR and HD video conference. So in the current situations and in the current traditional campus network, we see that we are having dedicated networks for different services, right? That can also increase the maintenance cost and the interference between the different wireless environments. So we also have one solution which is cloud-based. So while having the cloud-based management solution, we can have all-in-one solution. So by having the solution, we can reduce the maintenance costs and increase the network capacity specifically. And these sensors are RFID and Zigbee can be integrated within the Wi-Fi 6 AP. And by the integration of these sensors, RFID and Zigbee sensors, we can utilize the services like having the ESL, asset label, and this energy management type things. So as you can see in the picture, the right picture, everything in the room have a wireless access. So if you can see, either it is a HD smart screen, it's a smartphone, or the tablet. So basically the idea behind was everything should be connected wirelessly. So having Wi-Fi 6 in the network, we can have this HD conference with the smart HD screens connected wirelessly, and can have a better user experience. You can have either it can be 4K or 8K video collaboration. And this was an office scenario and office example. Even if we consider a classroom example, we can have a better high bandwidth services in the classrooms as well, such as we are going to have virtual reality, or the augmented reality, or the interactive teaching, or if we want to have some 4K, 8K high definition video streaming, and multimedia streaming as well. So these are some of the case scenarios and the use examples for having Wi-Fi 6 in the offices or in the classrooms. So this is also one of the example, one of the reference, which is for with the quick count. So as you can see in the picture, there are automatic guided vehicles which are connected through wireless. So AGVs, basically they are mainly used in manufacturing and in this warehousing and logistic type of things. Because of its low latency and high capacity bandwidth, the Wi-Fi 6 I'm talking about, we need something which should be with a very low latency, because if we have something with having higher latency and the low capacity of bandwidth, there will be a lot of disconnection, and it will be really difficult to operate such kind of vehicles. So we need something with the low latency and high capacity bandwidth, so that can that can increase the operation efficiency of these vehicles. And Wi-Fi 6 is one of the solution for these AGV vehicles, which can reduce the number of disconnection. So once you have the less number of disconnection, you can have a better and smooth operation experience. And it can also increase the productivity and smoothen the operation of the organization. So Huawei Wi-Fi 6, you can say that
Guys,
have
Abdullah,
also.
sorry to interrupt. Abdullah, sorry to interrupt. I mean, guys, can you mute yourself? For the other guys, can you mute yourself, please? Okay, thank you, Abdullah. You can continue.
So the idea behind this was to reduce the low latency of the wireless connection, so that can because of having the low latency in the network, it can cause the disconnection for the AGVs, and AGVs will not be able to operate. So you can say that Wi-Fi 6 has also overcome this kind of problem and these challenges. And by having the Wi-Fi 6 in the network, it can transform the end user experience. And there is one example in China. In 2018, CNS and Huawei jointly built a Wi-Fi 6 network based on A-Range and Wi-Fi 6 products. And the main goal was to resolve the problems such as this poor roaming and the roaming delay and the abnormal dropped roaming calls. So if someone want to have or someone want to achieve this fast warehousing intelligence through this seamless roaming, where you don't experience the packet loss, or the packet loss rate should be almost zero, and the roaming success rate should be almost 99%, or you can say 99.9%. So we need to have, or we need to achieve this parameter. We need to have Wi-Fi 6 or Huawei Redington Wi-Fi 6 in the network. So this is iMaster NCE, which is a proactive operation and maintenance tool for Huawei. Initially, it was eSite management, but now it is another proactive tool has been launched by Huawei, which is a smart operation and maintenance tool basically. The main goal and the main functions of having iMaster NC in the network is basically the four major functions are there. You can achieve from a single platform, that is a centralized management, the control, the fault analysis, and it reduces the total cost of ownership. And another benefit having the iMaster NCE in the network is the fault locating and the fault analysis. So mainly iMaster NCE is used in data centers, enterprise campuses, and enterprise private lines, and you can say carrier network scenarios as well. So by having iMaster NCE, faults and issues can be located and detected easily and quickly. So any administrator of a company or any organization can have a real-time experience visibility for each applications, for each user, for each application, and in each area. So administrator of a company can have a proactive fault identification as well as fault location within a seconds. So another benefit of having iMaster NC is the network optimization. As I said that through iMaster NC we can have intelligent fault prediction as well, such as in such kind of environment where we have multiple AP deployed in a single area. So we can face channel conflict in such scenarios, right? So the channel evaluation and the predictive optimization, it can be done through this iMaster NC. By having this channel evaluation and this predictive optimization, it can help to improve the network-wide performance. So you can say that network optimization is also being done by this iMaster NC. So this is one of the example having more special streams. They have considered example of a road. So if you can see, if we have multiple roads or multiple lanes on a single road, the traffic can go smoothly, and the operation we can have a smooth operations on the road as well, because every single car will have a dedicated lane. So same is the case with the access point as well. If we have more special streams, more capacity will be increased, more users can be connected at the same time with the access point, and they can have a higher throughput or higher bandwidth. So in Huawei case, we also have this this technology, which is multi-user MIMO, which helps the user to have dedicated special streams. So to have a maximum throughput. Learning antenna, like Huawei has something for Wi-Fi 6, which is unique to Huawei. Huawei is having 16 antennas within its access points. So there are some key features which Huawei is offering over its competition. One of the key feature of Wi-Fi 6 is Huawei is having 16 antennas, where other competitors is offering 12 antennas. Then the maximum throughput which Huawei is offering as compared to other competitor is 10.75 gigabit. This is the maximum throughput which any of the vendor is offering in the industry. Another benefit of having Huawei Wi-Fi 6 is Huawei is offering outdoor access points as well. So as I explained in the previous slide, that Huawei is offering the smart antennas in Huawei Wi-Fi 6 Redington. So what is the use and what is the benefit of having smart antennas? It can enhance your coverage, as we know that we have different types of antenna. So normally, previously we were using omnidirectional antennas in Wi-Fi 5, and you know that omnidirectional is a 360 degree. The coverage of this antenna is 360 degree. So this antenna is spreading the coverage all over in 360 degree area, while the smart antenna, it will help to locate the user or the STA, or it will follow the STA. So while following the STA, it can help you, to increase the coverage area, or it can focus on a specific dedicated users while roaming as well. So if, let's say, a user is on a in some place, he's using a Wi-Fi by sitting in some area. After some time, he's moving his direction. So that, and the beam will be followed by the user. So it can help to have the wider coverage distance. And other benefit of having this smart antenna within the AP is it will decrease the interference. So the challenge interference will be decreased by having these smart antennas. The first benefit is to have more coverage distance. Another benefit to have less interference, and the signal will be more focused as per the users. So this is the example for having 16 antennas, as I was explaining in previous slide. So as you can see that the normal standard for the industry for Wi-Fi 6 is 12 antennas. 12 is as in 8 antennas dedicatedly for 5 gigahertz and 4 for 2.4. Whereas in Huawei Redington Wi-Fi 6, they are offering 12 antennas for specifically for 5 gigahertz, whereas they have 4 antennas for 2.4 gigahertz. So the Huawei has more number of special streams as compared to its competitor. As I said earlier, that this thing is unique to Huawei, the 16 antennas. So by having more antennas, by having more special streams, it can help to achieve higher throughput. And the Huawei maximum throughput is 10.7 gigabit, and it can also help us to provide a fiber-like network experience, but in terms of wireless. So for any kind of heavy traffic services such as AR, VR, or 4K HD video, we can utilize this experience through wireless services. As you can see in the example, there are two APs which is deployed within a single controller, and because of the smart antenna, it has made the roaming as lossless. In order to make sure that there is a service continuity and there is no signal loss or the coverage loss. So let's consider this example, like when a device is moving from one AP to another AP, we normally face service interruption or disconnection specifically. So specifically, if we are using voice services or voice apps, which are critical apps, bandwidth critical apps. But in smart antenna scenario, when a device is moving from one AP to another AP, it will make sure that when it is getting minus 65 dB signals from another AP, so the STA will be connected to that stream before disconnecting it from the previous stream, right? So it can help us to have lossless roaming and the service continuity. The AP will not be disconnected until unless it will not be connected to the next AP. While in Wi-Fi 5, we were having this kind of problem while roaming around in the corridors or in any area. If we are on the Skype call, or if we are on any, if we are using any application, specifically if we are on call, we were normally facing interruption or disconnection in this kind of scenarios. But in Wi-Fi 6, we can overcome this kind of situation and overcome this kind of scenarios. So this is also one of the visualization you can see in the smart antenna. As I said, that it is also offering wider coverage. You can see the beamforming technology. It is helping to focus more on the user side. So by having the optimized coverage direction, it can give us more signal strength and more signal coverage area. So this is one of the example and visualization for iMaster NCE. As I explained in the previous slides regarding iMaster NCE, that it is a proactive approach and it is having an intelligent optimization. You can see in the video as well, where we have Wi-Fi 6 deployed with iMaster NCE, and multiple users are connected with multiple APs. Right. So in this kind of scenarios where users are constantly in motion and they are frequently changing their positions. You can see they are changing their position from one spot to another spot. So this intelligent master NCE, it will be proactively detecting the environment. So the environment changes will be detected, and it will be helping to optimize the network coverage. So it will basically optimize the network coverage based on the actual requirement. So if at one place more users will be gathered, it will help to increase the coverage in that particular area. So these are some of the examples and the commercial projects globally. So as per the report from Del Oro, from Q3 2018 to Q3 2019, Huawei Wi-Fi 6 has ranked number 1 globally, and we have too many references around the globe. And if we talk about specifically for the Middle East and for the Saudi, we have PNU in Saudi Arabia, and we have STC, where the Wi-Fi 6 has already been deployed. And we have other places around the globe as well, where we can showcase our references. In terms of shipment, as you can see, 250,000 plus shipments already being done since 2018. So as you can see, the contribution to Wi-Fi 6 for Huawei. Mr. Osama, who is an Huawei employee, he was elected as the chairman of IEEE in 2014. Since then, 802.11x has been started. They have started working on 802.11ax, and after this 2014, first Wi-Fi 6 AP was launched in 2017 back in China. But the first commercial use for Wi-Fi 6 was in 2018, and in 2019, as per the Tolly test, Huawei was considered as the fastest Wi-Fi 6, having the maximum throughput in the industry. So these are some of the models for Wi-Fi 6, which is newly released in 2020. So we have indoor models and outdoor models both. And as I told, that Huawei is one of the few vendors which are having outdoor access points in Wi-Fi 6 as well, and having 16 antennas in Wi-Fi 6 in outdoor cases as well. So let's talk about some of the models. The basic model is 5760, having 6 antennas, and this is the basic model, which is normally recommended for the retails, for the supermarket, for the small offices. Then we have another AP, which is normally recommended for hospitality sector, that is 5760. This AP is normally recommended for hospitality sector because it has by default LAN ports, and this AP can also be used as ONT. As you guys know that Huawei has a GPON technology where OLT is there as a core and ONT is there as a access. So if we have a GPON network in any organization, we can propose this access point as well. It can work as an AP as well as ONT as well because it has fiber uplink port. So another model for Wi-Fi 6 for mid-size, you can consider this 6760. This is also an indoor AP having 10 antennas, but this is normally recommended for high density or highly populated areas such as waiting rooms, such as halls, such as any indoor area having more number of users. Then we have some outdoor access points. All these APs having E at the end, they are all outdoor access points. So without E, they are all indoor access points. So 8760 and 6760, it comes both in indoor and outdoor access points. And this series have maximum 16 antennas. There are two models. Basically 8760, it is also a flagship model for Huawei, and this model 8760 is supporting 10.75 gigabit throughput. It is also having 16 antennas, and it can be recommended for such kind of environment where we required high definition video conferences, such as the e-classroom, the meeting rooms in the offices. Then let's talk about the WLAN controller, what Huawei is offering. Huawei has two kind of solution. One is for the dedicated box WLAN controller, and one is the card-based solution. The card-based can be inserted into a chassis. For the dedicated box, we have AC6805. This can be considered as mid-size controller, or for high end as well. The maximum number of APs it can support is 6000 access points. It is having by default 40 gig ports and 10 gig SFP ports as well. For large organizations, for mid-sized organizations, for the hospitality sector, we can propose this WLAN controller. It can also work in active and active standby mode. When we are working in active standby mode, we don't need the license for the standby controller. So we'll be putting only license for the active part. So it can work as 1+1 and N+1 backup both. So this is another solution for Huawei WLAN controller, that is card based. ACU2 is a chassis based card, which can be installed in any of the chassis switch, either it is 7700 or 12700. So the maximum number of APs this ACU2 card can support is 2000. Then we have small or medium size WLAN controller, which is the basic model for Huawei, AC6508. The maximum number of APs can be managed through this controller is 256. It also has by default 10 gig optical ports, and it can also work active plus active standby. So I think that's it for Wi-Fi 6. So I'm going to hand it over to Irfan.
Yes, Abdullah, thank you very much. Just give me the control. Hi, Abdullah, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see now.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Irfan. I'm working as a pre-sales in Redington for Huawei. And today we are going to discuss all-flash storage or Dorado in Huawei. The main objective of today's session is that you take a message that what is the industry trend right now and why we should go for all-flash storages for our customers, okay, and why we should recommend these storages to our customer. Okay, so this is our main objective. There is a belief that this traditional storage or hybrid storage, okay, it's less expensive as compared to all flash storage. Okay, this is a general concept in the minds of customers. Okay, all the customers, if you ask them, they will want to buy all flash storage because it has high performance. But the only reason they will not go for it is that they might think it's expensive. Okay, so the main message which we want to convey today is how our storage Dorado is better than our competitors and why the customer should go for all flash storages. Okay, so in the start we will just briefly discuss our portfolio of storage. The portfolio, as you can see, it's a very large portfolio of Huawei IT, which cannot be accommodated only in one slide, but we will generally discuss it. So there are mainly two types of storages, hybrid storage and all-flash storage. When we talk about hybrid storage, the hybrid storage can have different types of disks. So it can have NLSAS, it can have SAS, it can have SSDs. Okay. This is the plus side of hybrid storage. But on the negative side, the hardware itself is not as optimized as all-flash storage. So for example, if you put 100 SSDs in the hybrid storage and you put 100 SSDs in the Dorado series, the difference of IOPS will be almost twice. So the Dorado will give you more IOPS and more performance because the hardware of Dorado is specially made for all flash. So that's the difference. But there is a requirement. For example, a customer requires multi-tiering and he does not require higher IOPS, then that is a scenario where we go for hybrid storage. For example, the customer is looking for a storage for CCTV. There we go for hybrid storage. Customer is looking for a backup storage. We will recommend them hybrid storage. But when the customer is looking for a mission critical application, when the customer is looking for a production storage, there we will recommend them Ocean Store Dorado all flash storage. Okay, so that's the distinction between these two types of storages. On the right side, you see cloud storage. The cloud storage is a software defined storage. Okay, we call it fusion storage. And this is the kind of storage, is object-based storage, which we use in hyper-converged infrastructure kind of environments. Okay. Then on top, we see the management software. So the device management is the embedded solution in embedded monitoring of all storages. So you can monitor them through the web. And then we have eSite. eSite is our monitoring solution, which has different modules for different types of solutions in Huawei. So one of that module is for storage. Then we have Ocean Store DJ. Ocean Store DJ is orchestrator tool where we can automate majority of our jobs for the storages. And for example, if you are going to deploy on-prem cloud or it's on cloud, so those automations can be triggered through the Ocean Store DJ, its orchestration tool. Okay, and then we have call home service support, which is 24/7 support to manage all your services on-prem. Okay, and also on-prem and on cloud, and also you get intelligent insight of your data. Okay, so you get the performance insight, you get the disks inside, wear and tear. So all kind of these kinds of insights are provided to you when you opt for e-service. Okay, and then we have on top of that different solutions. So all these storages can be deployed in all those kind of solutions which are required in the industry. Okay, So this is a high-level overview of our storage portfolio. We will discuss deeply because the objective of today's session is Ocean Store Dorado, which is all-flash storage. Okay. Now, when we talk about flash or a full SSD solution, okay. Now, as you can see on the screen, the trend was when initially the SSDs was introduced, and we are familiar with SSDs because it also came in the laptop. So almost everyone is familiar with this. Okay. So SSD, when it came into the market, it was very expensive, and that's true. Okay. And the people were going for SAS disks because the price difference was very high. But as you can see, with time in 2018, that difference has almost reduced. Okay, it's very minimal now, and also the industry has actually opted for all-flash solutions. Now, as you can see, with time, okay, shipment of SSDs will exceed HDDs into 2021. Okay, so that's how SSD has been accepted in the market, and now people realize that how can they benefit from the all-flash storage as compared to the traditional storage. Okay, the price difference is very minimal now. It's around 1.8x. Okay, so the price of SSD is 1.8x higher than SAS as per the industry. Okay, but the other benefits are so high that the people, the customers are actually opting for all flash storages. Now, here are some benefits which all flash is providing to the industry at this time. For finance industry, user profile report efficiency has increased 69%, and the time has reduced from 8 hours to 2.5 hours. Okay, so that's a very, very significant effect on the finance industry. And the same is for enterprises monthly sales reports. The time has reduced from 24 hours to 6 hours. Now, these times is a rough idea of different workloads. Okay, so this time might be different for different workloads, but the general idea is that if you can see that the performance and efficiency you get from all flash storage is 50% higher, 70% higher. Okay, and that is a very significant effect, and that makes a lot of difference when we talk about, because time and the latency is the most important factor in finance when we talk about, okay, the transactions, the online transactions, and the same is for energy and electric power. Okay, so the all flash storage is actually serving all these industries, and all these industries are benefiting for all flash storage, and they have not only get better performance, they have reduced the time of operation as well. Now the objective is, as you can see, that the price difference, how we have to cater this challenge, because the SSD price a little bit higher than SAS disks, as you can see here in this slide as well. The challenge is the price difference between SAS and SSD was very high in 2016. Okay, but in 2020 it has been reduced to 1.8x for the industry. The price difference is still there. Okay, but what customer wants? The customer wants the SSDs in the price of SAS disks. Okay, this is what customer wants, and this is what they are expecting from us. Now, we are running a promotion from Huawei where we are providing SSD in the price of SAS disks. Okay, now this promotion is for SAS disks only. It's not for NLSAS. NLSAS is a disk which is used for CCTV storage or big capacity storage. That is nowhere considered as a performance tier. So when we talk about performance and high performance tier, so high performance tier is SSD and performance tier is SAS. So for example, if you are closing any project with SAS disk, we will replace those SAS disks with SSDs, okay, with the same cost. So this is a promotion which we are running, and that's how we are facilitating even SMBs to go for full flash, all flash storage. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is In our all-flash storage, we are providing inline deduplication and inline compression for the data. And when we talk about inline deduplication and inline compression, that means at maximum we can reduce the data 5 times, right? So for example, if you have a data of 25 TB, when you write it to the storage, okay, that the capacity required in the storage will be 5 times less. It will be around 5 TB of data, 5 DB of disk required in the storage, while actual data is 25 TB. Now, when we talk about this 5x, it's the maximum. This is different for different types of data. For example, when we talk about Oracle databases, it's 3x. Okay. When we talk about unstructured data, completely random pictures and completely random PDF files, then it might reduce to 2.5. Okay. So that's it changes according to the data which we calculate at the time of the project as well. But 5x is a maximum if it's a structured data in the ideal condition. Okay. So what is the effective capacity with Ocean Store Dorado? This is what I said, that we reduce that data 5 times. We call it effective capacity. Okay, so the raw capacity, when you send the code to the customer, when he will see the code, he will ask that I requested for 30 TB of usable data, but the code you send me, it contains only 5 disks, which even the raw data is 25 TB, it's not 30. So how the usable data will be 30 TB? Okay, so through inline deduplication and through inline compression, okay, he can actually store 30 TB into that usable, which is actually effective capacity. You will get 30 TB, but the raw capacity will be much lesser. So that's how we are saving the cost, and how this technology is actually saving the cost for the customer. Okay, so you get more effective capacity with less raw storage. And when you reduce the number of disks, you reduce the power consumption of the storage. Okay, so when we talk about very huge data centers, you roughly saves 85 kilowatt per TB saving. Okay, that's for the very large data centers, and then also guaranteed effective capacity. Okay, that is a license which we provide to you. Okay, along with our code. So for example, if customer has requested something like, for example, 30 TB, and we have provided you a solution, a quotation, where you see that the raw capacity is 25 TB or the raw capacity is 20 TB, and you, the customer question you that how this storage will provide 30 TB effective capacity or usable capacity to me, we will provide you a guarantee license, okay, which actually guarantees that for the lifetime of this storage, we will provide you, we will make sure that you get 30 TB usable capacity out of it. And if you do not, we will provide you additional disk free of cost. Okay, so that's a real cost saving in case of Dorado. Now here we compare hybrid storage and Ocean Store Dorado. So if you can see, the effective capacity required is 80 TB in both cases. Okay, but when we go with Dorado, we get almost twice higher IOPS because the storage itself is specially designed for all flash. Now we are putting the disks in both storages SSDs, which I spoke in the start. Even if you put all SSDs in the hybrid storage and you put all SSDs in the Dorado, the performance in Dorado is almost twice as higher as hybrid storage because the storage is specially designed for this purpose. And not only that, but the footprint of the storage is 50% small. So you get more performance, you get a small footprint, you save on the power side, less power consumption, okay, and then less total cost of ownership, okay, because you have a small footprint, you have to manage a small infrastructure, so you required small TCO. So these are the 4 performance in which Dorado is taking over on all different types of storages. Okay, so when we design the solution, let's not just keep this in our mind that the SSD will be expensive. The all-flash storage is taking care of all these challenges through different technologies. And not only that, but on top of that, we are running this promotion where we are providing you SSD disk in the price of SAS disk. Now, what are the hardware advancement brought in Dorado? So we are using 5 chips, self-developed chips in Huawei factories. Okay. Now, the first chip we are talking about is a CPU Kunpeng 920. The Kunpeng 920 is a CPU developed by Huawei, and one CPU contains 48 cores. Okay. You might already know that at this moment, Intel Platinum CPU, which is the highest one, is providing 28 cores. Okay. But Huawei Kunpeng is providing 48 cores per CPU. And one controller can have up to maximum of 4 CPUs. So you can imagine the power embedded in one controller. And then we can actually, if we are scaling out, we can add multiple controllers. Okay. So in one storage, we can have up to 768 cores. So you can imagine the power which is embedded. And then AI chip. The AI chip is also, the function of AI chip is that the hot data, which is mostly read and write data. Okay, so that the AI chip helps us to take the data from the disk and put it in the controller in the cache, so that we have better performance in terms of read from the storage. Okay, and then we have SSD chips. The SSD chips is actually specially designed by Huawei. It increases the life of the SSD. It gives us the intelligence of wear and tear of the disks. Okay, and it also increases the read and write speed of the disk. And then we have another, on top of these 4 chips, we have another chip which is for BMC management chip. That chip gives us intelligence of all the alarms, predictions of the storage. If there is going to be any fault in the disk later on, maybe after 1 week, you will start getting alarms beforehand in the BMC management chip, which is embedded for the management. So you are, when you access through the device manager storage, you will get those alarms. There are 3 more highlights in this slide, if you can see. In this time in the industry, Huawei, in our high-end Ocean Store Dorado, we are providing 20 million IOPS. So as I mentioned before, there are 2 terms which we use, scale out and scale up. So when we scale out, in that case, we cascade different controllers who get together. So if we cascade our high-end storage, we can go up to 32 controllers. So this result which you see, 20 million IOPS, is with 32 controllers, which is highest in the industry. No other vendor is even near to 20 million IOPS at this time. And we provide 0.1 millisecond latency. So as I said, in case of transactions, this latency is the most important factor which plays the role. So we are providing 0.1 millisecond latency and 20 million IOPS. And in terms of resiliency and reliability, we can tolerate 7 controller failures out of 8 controllers, which is highest in the industry. No other vendor can tolerate 7 controller failures. At most, at this time, they can tolerate 4 controller failures out of 8. And then we have AI power embedded in the controller, which is for the management purposes, which is the BMC management chip, which I mentioned just now. So the main motto of Ocean Store is Flash Ever. And when we talk about Flash Ever, the idea is that for the next 10 years, okay, you don't have to go for any other storage. Okay, you don't have to go for any other vendor. And we will provide you, if there is expansion required in closures, okay. So we guarantee you that we will provide you the parts, of course, not free of cost, but we will provide you all the parts for the next 10 years if you opt for Ocean Store Dorado storage, okay, and free access to all the upgrades to the softwares. And also when we talk about zero data migration, that means zero service disruption. So if you are not migrating to some new storage when it comes into the market, and then you migrate to new storage, and that's when you require data migrations. Okay, so you are protected for 10 years. And we provide gateway free active storage between production side and disaster recovery side. Okay, in traditional data center storage solutions, you might be familiar with the SAN, IP SAN. We used to use different routers between the two data centers. So that is not gateway free. When we talk about OceanStore Dorado, you put one storage in the production side, you put one storage in the DR side. You do not require any additional equipment, special equipment. Of course, you need the connectivity between two sides. And the Hypermetro software, which is used between for the replication between PR and DR, if you buy 2 or more Dorado series storage, you will get that software for free. Okay, so that's one of those highlights. So it's gateway free, active between PR and DR. Okay, so we see Gartner reports. We see the standing of the different storages. One of the significant factors when we look at Huawei storage is that Huawei year by year growth in the storage area is very high as compared to any other vendor. Okay, now this is the result which you see on the left side. It's for 2019 Q4. And you already know that the Q4 was a time when the corona has already hit China. Okay, this growth was 234% in Q1 of 2019. So you can imagine. And the other vendors were around 40%, 43%, while Huawei was at 234%. So quarter by quarter growth, year by year growth of Huawei storage is very, very higher as compared to all the competitors. There, as you can see, some of the competitors are going in negative. And Huawei has moved to, in the primary storage area, to the leader quadrant in 2019. And as you can see, year by year, Huawei is growing from 2014, from niche player, it has moved to challengers and now in the leader area. And we are hoping that Huawei will be in the leader on top of all other vendors very soon. Because Huawei is investing a lot of investment in the R&D area of storages. As you can see, Huawei has almost half of the employees in the R&D, and that makes us different than other vendors, because the employees in our R&D are more than the total employees of other vendors. Now, this is the portfolio of OceanStore Dorado series. So as you can see from left side, the entry level OceanStore Dorado 3000, and then we move to the mid range, which is 5000 and 6000, and then at the high end it's 8000 and 18000. So when we were talking about 20 million IOPS, we were talking about 18,000 series, which is the high end. These are some of the specs. So the main highlights in these is that, as you can see, the cache. Okay, the cache of this OceanStore Dorado all flash is very high as compared to any other vendor. One of the other significant fact is that we provide at the high end on the left, on the right side, we can accommodate 6,400 disks. Okay, in one storage, 6,400 disks, which is actually which is one of the factors to provide 20 million IOPS. No other vendor can provide 6,400 disks in one storage in their high end. We will briefly talk about a little bit technical what's in this OceanStore Dorado 3000 in OceanStore Dorado in overall all series. So from the lower side, you can see entry level Dorado 3000. Now one is a controller enclosure, which includes 2 controllers, and then another one is enclosure for expansion. Okay, so starting from mid range and high range, we have something different than the industry. Okay, so we have intelligent data aware engine. So our expansion enclosures, as you know, that for example, when you purchase a storage, that storage has controllers in a controller enclosure, and when you are adding more disks, so you go for expansion enclosure, right? So the expansion enclosure contains only additional disks, which is connected to through SAS cables to the controller enclosure. But those expansion enclosures has no processing power. But what's different in OceanStore Dorado that our expansion enclosure contains intelligent DAE. Okay, so the Kunpeng chip, which we talk about, 48 core chips. Okay, that processors are embedded in the expansion enclosures. So now, when we talk about reconstruction of the data, those tasks are taken care by the processors in the expansion enclosures, and that's how we make the difference. We can reconstruct 1 TB of data in 15 minutes, okay, as compared to the industry which actually reconstruct 1 TB of data in 60 minutes. Now, as I mentioned, that we support both scale up and scale out. So when we talk about scale up, that means one controller enclosure and you add multiple expansion enclosures. And when we talk about scale out, that means adding more controller enclosures. So you for example, the requirement is of high processing, high cache, so you add more controllers. That's called scale out. So we support both scale out and scale up. And that's the connectivity diagrams, how you scale out, how you connect the controllers. So there are dedicated special ports for scale out. There are special ports for front IO, where you connect your cables connecting from the network switches. Then there are called backend ports which connect to the expansion enclosures. So as you can see, we can provide 20 million IOPS, and the second competitor is almost at the half of what we are providing. So this is a very significant difference, and you need to highlight it to the customers. And then so this is in case of 32 controllers. And there is another example for database. In this case, we are using only 2 controllers and 7:3 read and write ratio. So we can provide up to 6 million IOPS in this case for database. So it's just one of the examples, but we are actually at 20 million IOPS at this moment, highest than any other vendor. And how we make this these enhancements, because majority of these enhancements are made in the hardware, and we know that the hardware, when something is taken care by hardware, the performance is much better when it's taken care by the software. Okay, so we call it smart metrics, and smart metrics is that each and every component of our storage is interconnected. Okay, so that means all front IO ports are connected to all the controllers. All controllers are connected to all the backend ports. I will discuss that in the next slide. But in this slide, as you can see, through smart metrics, we can achieve failure of 7 controllers out of 8. So the vendor Dell EMC cannot achieve controller failure of 7, and the same is H, which is HP. The HP cannot tolerate failure of 7 controllers. So as I mentioned before, we are at this moment at highest reliability, means that we can tolerate 3 controller failure out of 4. For example, if you are using a storage which does not have 8 controllers, it has 4 controllers, so you can tolerate 3 controller failure. And in case you are going for 8 controllers, you can tolerate up to 7 controller failure. Of course, the IOPS will go down, because now you are being facilitated by only 1 controller, but the service will still go on. Now this is what smart metrics is. As you can see on the top, it's switches. From switches, the cables are connected to front end ports. So traditionally in the storages, the front end ports were actually connecting to the controller. Okay, so if for example on the right side you have 10G ports, on the left side you have 10G ports, that means those ports are actually, cards are deployed on the controllers, and those are dedicated for those controllers. But now in the smart metrics, everything is different. That means the front end ports are not dedicated for any one controller, but in fact they are connected to all the controllers, and then those controllers are connected to backend IO ports to all of them. Okay, so that means, as you can see, there is multipathing software which we usually install on the host side. Okay, that needs to be installed, and then the front end IO ports evenly to all controllers. So the traffic is distributed to all the controllers, and traditionally in the concept of storage, the LUN has ownership. So whether controller 1 or controller 2 owns that LUN. But in case of Dorado, there is no ownership of LUNs. That means the whole cache is called global cache, and it's distributed between the both. For example, 192G is controller 1, 92G is controller 2. So these two cache is combined together. Okay, so it can be provided to any LUN at any given time. And then we are using RAID 2.0 plus, which is RAID TP. So this RAID actually use all the disk in the enclosures. Okay, so and that it has some benefits. The first benefit is that it can tolerate 3 disk failures as compared to RAID 6, which can tolerate up to 2 disk failures. The second benefit is when you have more disk in one disk domain, so the reconstruction time of the data is reduced, because we are actually writing from many disks at the same time. Okay, and we are writing to many disks at the same time. So these are some of the benefits of RAID 2.0 plus as compared to traditional RAIDs. And how we achieve 7 controller failure out of 8 or 3 controller failure out of 4? That is, we cache the data into 3 controllers simultaneously at any given time. Okay, and one of those controllers needs to be in different engine. Okay, so when we talk about controllers, they are built into the engine. So when 4 controllers are built in one engine and 4 controllers are built in second engine. So even if your one engine fails, okay, your data will still be running on the another engine. And for example, if you 7 controller fails, one engine and 3 controllers on the other, your data will still be running. And how we make sure of that? We keep 3 copies of cache in 3 different controllers at any given time. So that's the main highlight of OceanStore Dorado. And what the message I wanted to give you is that our OceanStore Dorado is not only more better than any other competitor in terms of performance. As you can see, 20 million IOPS. In reliability, we can tolerate 7 controller failure out of 8. In latency, we can provide 0.1 millisecond. Okay, and on top of that, we want to facilitate each and every customer in the industry. And how we do that? We are covering the gap of that price difference by providing you SSDs at the price of SAS disk. Okay, so these are the tools which we want you to equip with. And next time when you go to the customer and when you talk about the production storage, okay, when the requirement is for the IOPS, we want you to pitch Dorado series storage to them. Okay, and when it's about backup storage, when it's about CCTV storage, we, as I mentioned before, we have a complete portfolio for hybrid storage as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And thank you very much for attending my session. Now I will hand it over to Chanakya. Okay. Sorry, before that, let me discuss the promotions very quickly. So on top of all those promotions which were discussed by Mr. Rawad, okay, very attractive and very, I mean, not only just for the company, but for the sales and pre-sales, okay, those are very, very attractive incentives. And this is on top of that, okay. So for example, for any deal of 100K, you are going to get MatePad Pro, or for any deal of 300K, as you can see in the slide, on top of Dreamland Trip, which has been mentioned by Mr. Rawad, you will also get P40 Pro, and for any 500K deal, you will get Mate 13. So this is dedicated for you. And this promotion is running on Wi-Fi 6, and as you can see, on our data center switches. So it's on our IP solutions. This is again completely for you, for sales and pre-sales. So for example, if any deal is completely run by pre-sales, this is for pre-sales. If any deal is run by sales, it is completely for the sales guy. And the same promotion which I just mentioned is also on our storage. Okay, so as you can see here also, it's mentioned that 1 SSD for the cost of 1 HDD. That promotion is also there. So as you can see, we are giving so much to you so that everyone is facilitated. And then the same promotion is
Irfan,
going on.
sorry, Irfan.
Yes. Yes.
I think the slide, I don't know, only me or all of the guys, we cannot see the promotion slides.
You can see.
Still, I can't see one of the technical slides about storage.
Okay, just click on. I will share again. Can you see the slide now?
Yes, now it's okay.
Okay.
Now it's on Wi-Fi 6 promotion. Yes.
So, guys, this is the slide I was talking about. So, on Wi-Fi 6 promotion, for 100K deal, you will get Mate Pad Pro. For 300K deal, you will get P40 Pro. For 500K deal, you will get Mate 13. Okay, so this is the promotion which we are running, only dedicated for you on these product lines. And the same promotion we are running on the storage side. So if any deal you close it, so the condition for these promotions, for all the promotions which we have discussed today, is that deal should have a valid deal registration with us, approved deal registration. If we reject any deal registration, it will be with a given cause, with a proper justification. Okay, so for all that. And then we are running the same promotion on our Smartly, which is our lithium batteries for the UPS, which is a completely separate portfolio. We will have a separate session for that, but we are running the same promotion on top of that. Okay, so the last but not the least, we are running a promotion on our Wi-Fi 6, which is, if you go purchase for 3 access points of Wi-Fi 6, you will get 5 access points. Okay. So this is a very attractive promotion for all the customers. So highlight this to all your customers as much as you can. This promotion is till 31st of October for now. Okay, so yeah, just keep this in mind. And after that, Mr. Fawad, I would like you to address the audience on code of conduct. And thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Irfan. First of all, thank you for everybody. Thank you for your time to attend this webinar. Let me introduce myself. My name is Fawad Nasser. I'm the distribution channel manager for Huawei, and I'm glad to be with you today in this webinar. And this part, I will just give you a brief about Huawei Code of Conduct for our partners. So can you move to the next? Yes. Actually, I will not go for all points, but what I want to deliver, the message that I want to deliver to everybody, at the same time of taking our business and numbers as a target. At the same time, we are making sure that all of our business with our partners, with our customers, with our distributors, everything is legal, okay, and paying a very high attention to the code of conduct, regulations strictly. So the first part is about anti-bribery. Anti-bribery, as Huawei, the same as big companies and international companies. It's one of the red lines for Huawei, regardless. When we deal with our partners or customers or our distributors. So I just want everybody to know that if any behavior happened from any of Huawei employees or from any of our distributor employees, you can escalate it to the channel team in Huawei side anytime. And I just want to make sure that it will be, will be treated very seriously. Okay, the second point about the unfair competition. Unfair competition, I believe so many partners, especially for the new partners for Huawei, maybe the partners that it's the first time to cooperate with Huawei in certain projects. They always have one question. Okay, if I work with Huawei, and maybe at the end one of the other partners of Huawei will go for the same tender, will assume a discount, then they will win this project. Even I'm protected by Huawei. Then they will get this PO and come back to Huawei and ask for more discount. In this situation, what can I do? How can I make sure that I'm protected from Huawei and can get this project? I just want to emphasize this point. Huawei doesn't allow such behavior. So usually, if we protect you as a partner from the beginning, we are very transparent. We will tell you you are protected, or maybe if the protection for other partners, we will tell you clearly from the beginning. Okay, you can participate with Huawei solution, but we have a protected partner for a certain reason. Maybe he submitted the registration first, or maybe for some account mappings or whatever. So after we give the discount, usually the protected partner will get 10 to 15% more discount. Then if there's any other partners, they assume discount from their side and submit to the customer. What we are going to do, we will send official letter to the customer to inform them that the prices and solutions are not authorized by Huawei for this partner, and maybe we will go for legal case. Okay, so we don't allow any unfair competition by any means. Okay. Third one is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is also one of the red lines for Huawei. So regardless when we talk about products, about the business transactions, all type of cybersecurity, regulations and aspects, we are putting cybersecurity as the highest priority. And next, please, Erfan. Yeah. So I will not go point by point, but also the most important is if you find any behavior from our employees or from our partners' employees, please escalate it to the channel team in Huawei, and we promise that we are going to take it seriously for each escalation. Okay. One of the scenarios, the common scenarios, is the deregistration issues. So as the guys explained, we have so many incentives. Okay, and guys, for the people that they are not speaking, please mute yourself. Okay, so when you go and register the deregistration, which is the main condition to get any incentive or awards, sometimes it will be rejected by Huawei account managers. Okay, so it's your right to know a valid reason for this rejection. Okay, if the account manager just rejected your DR without any valid reason, so you can escalate it as well. Then we will investigate about the rejection reason, and we'll get back to you. Okay. Usually the rejection will happen only if this opportunity registered in our pipeline by Huawei account managers or by other partners. So if you doubt about this reason, also you can escalate it to us. Usually we go and check in Huawei system about the registration time for the registration and the opportunity registered by account manager or other partners, and compare to registration time and get back to you with a clear explanation. Okay, so about the marketing and some talking to media about Huawei, delivering messages about Huawei. Usually only Huawei marketing and legal departments are authorized to announce anything to the media. So if any partner wants to do a joint marketing or any announcement on behalf of Huawei, need to get the confirmation from Huawei team in advance. Okay. About the subject to Huawei audits, this one mainly for tier one partner for our distributors, and maybe sometimes if there's any legal cases, maybe need the cooperation of our partners for any investigation by our audits. Okay. The last point is compliance with Huawei partner policy. I believe all of the partners signed the agreement online, and it's only about this agreement clauses. For these 2 points, the seventh and eighth point, I believe we included in our previous slides explanation. So if you have any questions, if you have any escalation, guys, please, feel free to contact me or any of Redington team anytime to escalate any issue happened with any of our employees.
Thank you so much, Fuad. Thank you for your time for this presentation. Gentlemen, thank you so much for attending this session. I hope it's going to be fruitful today. My name is Muhammad Al-Asmar. I'm the channel sales manager in Redington for Huawei product. We will have better discussion at the end, but we would like now to run the quiz, okay, for this session. Okay, Shankaya, for you, over to you. Please conduct the quiz for the attendees.
Irfan, that's it for today.
Yes, that's it for today. Thank you everyone for attending, and thank you very much. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at any time. And if you have you're working on any opportunities, contact us. We will work with you, and we want you to get the full benefit of incentives we have introduced today. Thank you very much for attending. Bye-bye.